All right, good morning. So you guys get to be a podcast guest. So this is actually recording and will be aired next week as a podcast. So that's exciting. I will give you all the free resources and stuff at the end of this. So that way you can hop on and learn marketing stuff for free, right? So I'm Shelby McFarland. You met Alexis and you met Maddie. And I also have Chelsea, but she's my little introverted baby at home with her Gary, the dog, by the way. Her dog named Gary, and she does all my content creating, and so she is working hard for our clients right now. She's been with me for 8 of the 10 years that I've been in business, and I'm very proud of that. She's a very hardworking person, so it's cool to have her on the team. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about the BOSS mindset, and yes, BOSS is an acronym. Please take notes. I would love to see you guys taking notes. Okay, look at there. And then look at Katie, like, where's your notebook? I just came to your work. Do you need to borrow one? I brought one. No. It's okay. Pull out your phone, even though that's against the rules of networking. No, we attended Katie's workshop this week. It was fantastic. In fact, I've got my talking point, the pants. I feel like this is a good talking point. Alexis hooked me up with a fresh breath this morning. Appreciate that, because I didn't bring any breath mints after my coffee. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Any more compliments? Oh my God, yes. I did my color analysis. It's like mine too. So, okay. Anyways, we're going to get down to it. So I was 22 years old. I moved into a 500 square foot apartment with an air mattress that had a hole in it. I was a recovering addict, as in like that was my first day not being on any kind of drugs. And I took a week to detox in this 500 square foot apartment. I had left my first husband at the time. It was a very abusive relationship, was with him for 4 years. But what I didn't know was that week that I had to sit there and go through hell, literally, really changed my entire life. And this kind of part of my story I don't share a lot, but I feel like women in the room, you guys understand how much we go through and what we look like we're strong on the other side of things, but we don't really talk about like the nitty gritty, like inside, like, hey, I struggled. You know, I'm not like out here going like, yo, I was addicted to drugs, bro. You know, like I'm not trying to tell people that all the time. But I really think that that's where this BOSS mindset came into play. But it wasn't until a couple years later that I had a business coach, Mike Harbor. He's amazing. And he said, you know what, we need to come up with an acronym. And before I talk about that acronym, we came up with this acronym because I was in a hamster wheel. I was just like working. I was 60, 80 hours a day or a week. I was like, how am I supposed to get to that next level? How am I supposed to be successful? I knew deep down inside that I was somebody. I don't know if y'all felt that before, where you're like, bro, I am somebody. I know what I am, but I don't know what that is. I don't know how to tap into that. And so I hunted Mike down and I said, hey, I want to buy you coffee. That was kind of awkward, right? Buying a grown man coffee. But I was like, I want to know all the things. Like, tell me everything about you. I want to know how you got to where you are. I want to know all of your knowledge. And he helps executives, CEOs, CFOs, COOs be successful in their career. And I was like, well, I want to be that. So he felt really sorry for me. I was very happy about that. And he coached me for free for like a whole year. Then I started paying him because I was like, okay, I want to invest in this. So we worked closely together for about 2 to 3 years. And he goes, you know what? I think it's time to let my bird fly. And I was like, yes, thank you. Okay. You know, I still call him every now and then, but it's really cool to hear, like, listen, you're doing the work. Like, just keep going. You know, it's not that I don't need him, but the fact that he helped me build the tools. So the BOSS acronym, the first letter is B, obviously, and it stands for bold. So if you have ever been around me, or if you haven't, you probably have learned today that I'm pretty bold. I tell you how it is. I'm also an Enneagram 8, so that really helps me out in that way. But being bold in my career meant taking steps that I didn't know what the other side of it looked like. I was having to take chances, and I needed to take on opportunities, which that's in a minute, but I needed to make those decisions so that way I would go to that next level in my career and who I am as a leader. And I think being bold is scary, but it's something that we make a lot of excuses not to be. Like, well, I don't really know if like Katie said, I don't know if I want to go to that networking event. I don't know anybody there. Well, show up, wear something cute, feel yourself for a second. Hey, you know, like, Worst case scenario, take a selfie and post it to the internet. I mean, like that's bold in itself, right? Like we need to be bold in who we are and what we want to be and who we want to be and just show up for our future self without our future self even knowing that's what we're doing, right? Our next one is O, so that's opportunistic. Everything that comes into my life, I view as an opportunity. I just recently opened up a content studio in Maumelle, and I had no idea I was going to do this until I'll take that back, December of last year. So I got denied again for the third time in a row for Greater Leadership Little Rock thing, whatever that's called, right? What is that called? Leadership Greater Little Rock. There we go. So I've done it for 3 years. The interviews, I was like, I just felt like, okay, this is the year. This is 10-year anniversary. I'm going to meet some cool people. And I got rejected, which is super great. Got rejected. But I'm like, hey, everything happens for a reason. So then a couple months later, I was like, I am so tired of renting other studios. And you've been in the other studio I rented, took her pictures. And so I was like, I want some space of my own. And I also knew that I was growing my team, so I wanted a space that they could also come to work. And I started looking for spaces, and 4 weeks later signed a lease because that's what I do. Everything's an opportunity, right? This place had green carpet. So go to the Little Rock Creative Facebook page and you'll see the awesome green carpet before. But I had a really great construction guy, came in, did everything. Adrienne Meacham, you guys probably know her. She's been to this. Yes, hey. She's not here this morning. She's my best friend. I don't know why she's not. But anyways, that's a later problem. So she did all the design work for me, came in, helped me out with that because that's something I'm not great at. So that is a great example of opportunity. So what are you maybe missing in your life now because you're like, I'm scared. I don't know if I want to take that leap. I had to sign a whole year lease. You know how scary that is? That's like signing a marriage. I've done that twice. I don't want to do that one again either. But I think that you really need to think about, okay, I'm here. So like you're in this room. What opportunities do you see right now? Who do you need to connect with? Which is a great thing that Katie taught us this week as well. So everything that you see and do and come in contact with, everything happens for a reason. You're in the room with someone for a reason and take on that opportunity. So the first S is strong. And I put this on here because of my background, the things that I went through. I grew up in a great home, up until senior year, but grew up in a great home, very Christian home. Very stable home, and my parents taught me how to be independent, very appreciative of that. They said, good luck with college. I turned 18, they were like, bye. I was like, cool, that's great. Didn't go to college, by the way, but anyways, that was on me because I didn't prepare for that. But I think that strong is something I have to think about every day because it's easy to let our past come up. It's easy to be like, oh, I was triggered by that. Okay, I'm going to go over here and I'm not going to do what I said I was going to do today. Yes, we get triggered. I mean, I've been through a lot of trauma therapy and all the things, and I get triggered too. But how do we deal with that trauma? How do we deal with those triggers? We have to show up for ourselves first. We have to be strong in ourselves. And then, if we're strong within ourselves, we show strongness for the people around us and the people that want to do work with us. I mean, I don't want to walk into a room and I'm like all slouched over and I'm like, oh, it's such a bad day. You know, it's that time of the month, right? So I could be like, oh, I'm sorry, I just don't feel good. You know, no, we need to be strong. We need to be confident. There's another word right there, confident and strong in ourselves. And no, you know what? I made that decision. It was a bad one, but I'm going to own it up to it. I'm going to move on to the next thing. It was a failing forward moment, as the good old John Maxwell likes to talk about. I'm a nerd for John Maxwell for sure. I got to meet him last week. No big deal. I know no one in here, not everyone knows who that is. But anyways, go to my Facebook and you'll see. He's great. Yeah, he's so cool. He said my shirt was super sparkly and cute. I was like, thanks, John. You're cute too. Okay. Exactly. Conversation starter. Exactly. I wore my sparkly shirt for him. So anyways, the last one is my absolute favorite one out of all of these. I don't know, they're all good, but service-minded, servant-hearted, whichever one you would like. Yes. And this one right here is the most important to me as a person. It's also the most important for me as a business leader. I think it's important for us to always think of other people before ourselves. That's how sales works, right? If we're trying to sell somebody, we want to think, okay, how am I going to help them? We don't want to go, well, how much money are you going to give me? You know what I'm saying? Although we do like that part. I mean, obviously, I love that part, right, girls? I talk about it all the time. I'm like, hey, let's get that money, honey. But we want to make sure that we are thinking of them first. And a great example of that this week alone is I had somebody that I've known literally for 6 years, have been in business groups with this man for 6 years, have tried to get his business for 6 years, have sent him probably 5 different proposals because he's like, oh yeah, go ahead, let's think about it. Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead, I'll think about it. Okay, great, cool. So he calls me and was like, yo, I need some social media accounts created. I was like, great, you're going to start working with me. Okay, let's do it. He was like, but I've already signed a contract with another company. I was like, what? And so then he was like, well, they kind of talked me into it. It was like a whole thing, right? And it was a company that doesn't really do digital marketing. They do something else that he was already doing work with, advertising-wise, and then they just threw in social media with that. And he was like, the problem is the salesperson said they'll create my accounts, but then the account people said, oh no, we don't do that. You're going to have to do that. So he's paid for 3 months, a lot of money, by the way, for 3 months without any kind of action on his social media because they refused to create his accounts. I was like, bro, I got you. Don't worry about it. You're in a contract. Don't worry about it. I holler at Maddie. I can't take creds. Maddie did it. Thank you so much. I holler at Maddie. I was like, here's the information. Check out his website. Create his social media accounts. Add me. I'll add him. All the things. Within, 20 minutes? It was all done. He was like, oh my God, thank you so much. I was like, you're welcome. But that's being service-minded, and that's being a servant to other people. Am I going to get his business in the future? Man, we're going to cross our fingers. I would love to get this man's business. That would be like, almost 7 years now that I haven't tried. But he apologized, and I was like, there's no reason to apologize. Like, everything happens for a reason. You learn the hard way. Thank you for giving me a great story to be able to tell. But I didn't do that to tell this story. I did that because I cared about him and I care about his business. And another way as a leader to have that service mindset is just showing up for your team. Showing up for the people around you. They know they can call me at any time and be like, yo, this thing happened today. Me and Alexis almost shared tears together. I don't really cry, but I kind of sometimes maybe. But like we share frustrations, maybe more frustrations, right? We're like, can you believe, I can't believe those people. Why do they not like us? They're so bad, And then I'm like, all right, let's reel it in. They're actually okay, fine. They just told us no. I don't like being told no. That's no fun, especially in sales, right? But they know that I'm going to show up for them. My child, my baby girl, my 5-year-old knows I'm going to show up for her. Even though she tells Maddie every time she picks her up that mommy never comes to pick me up from school, I'm like, listen, it's like 2 days a week I don't pick you up. Okay, bro? I love you. I'm sorry. I got to work. But she knows that I'm always going to be there for her because she comes ahead of me in everything. And so I think that if you keep those 4 ideas in your head, if you're bold, you look for opportunities, you stay strong within yourself, and you keep that service mind or servant heart, then you're definitely going to be successful in business. You'll be successful in relationships as a leader. And I think that's the most important, and that's how I live my life. So to talk about my book a little bit, I have Market Like a Boss. In fact, everybody here is going to get one. I brought you one. I will sign it and everything. You guys can sell it in the future when I'm really famous. But I really think it's important to share the message of marketing. So if you are in a business that you're like, I really don't have the budget to hire you guys. Okay, great. This book right here is a resource. This book is my service to other people that necessarily can't afford, or maybe they're interested in doing their own marketing because they like it. That's totally cool. And so if you know anyone that does need that, or if they have if they're a college kid, I know some people bought them for Christmas gifts for college kids. But then a little bit about the Marketing Broker. We got voted #1 marketing firm by AY. Thank you. Whenever I lose that award, I'm like, oh, it's just such a popularity contest. And then whenever I win, I was like, oh my God, it's going on my website. Yes. It was just us with our 8 emails that we have, but it's fine. It's fine. No, I'm really proud of that for sure because it means a lot. Words of affirmation is my love language. And then service is actually my workplace love language. So just to be labeled by something like that, it's really cool. And also on my 10-year anniversary, that's really cool too. So we're a full-service digital marketing agency. We do SEO, social media, website design, and then we have a full-service sign shop as well. So if you need graphics, oh, got to send that girl that quote. Anyways, so if they need graphics or something like that, I do help with that as well. So yeah, do you guys have any questions for me regarding marketing or life? I'm not a therapist, but I'm pretty good at listening and giving advice based off of my own.
I'll just be
okay.
Thank you for sharing a little bit more about who you are. We kind of see each other around,
Yeah.
And I connect a lot with your story. You don't really learn by doing everything perfect.
No.
And I noticed throughout my life as I hid things that maybe I was ashamed from, were actually what people really connect with me on, and they really appreciate that authenticity, that genuineness. And,
yeah.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I love hearing that about you, and just glad you showed up today.
Thank you. Yeah, that's my next book. It's called Hustle Like a Boss. So I'm talking 14 years. I've been an entrepreneur since I was 18. So it'll be talking about all more in detail. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like hide it from my stepdaughter. Like, don't read that. Yes. Yeah, there you go. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So I started the book several years ago. But honestly, I love to write. So let me start there. I love writing. I'm like a writing nerd all throughout high school, middle school. I had like journal after journal every day. So I love to write. And I knew I had a book inside of me, but I didn't know what that was. And so I started writing about all my trauma first. Ugh, that's terrible. But my therapist was like, we got to get it out of your head. So that's really how I kind of got through my trauma and stuff, was writing. And so I was like, I'm not really ready for that yet. I don't want to put that out there. People know me. My daughter's going to read this one day, right? It's going to be weird. And so I talked to these ladies that I connected with LinkedIn. Her name's Jill Claire, and the other lady's name is Jessica. I have no idea what her last name is, sorry. But Erin Marie is their names. That's their business name. And they actually coached me through it. So it took about 3 months for me to write it. And then they helped edit. They helped do all the formatting for me. And I'm actually speaking at one of their virtual author summits because I made $60,000 in the first 3 months. Thank you. So yes, when that's sales, so not book sales. I'm not trying to lie to you about that. Book sales are stupid. Like, you don't make money off of books. What you make money off of is the value that you add to other people with a book. And so yes, I had $60,000 in just sales for my business.
My stories.
Yeah.
Like, that's a cool story. You should write a book. And I'm like, I need to write it down before I forget.
And that's the best part. I mean, like, I would go down the road because I'm in my car all the time. And so I would just have one of those transcribers or whatever. And so like I would just talk through all the things. Okay, like this is what the topic is. These are the stories. Because in my book, I have like actual people that I've helped in the past. But then I didn't name them because I knew they'd get offended if they saw it. But there's some funny stories in there about people not being very nice to me, which I had to rename a little bit. But in marketing, yes, I'm like
20 years there. I know how that feels.
Man, that's a long time for sure. Yeah, but I say just do it. I mean, it's fun.
Oh, I'm going to.
Yeah.
I just need to start.
That's all it takes. You need to just be bold, and you just need to start.
Maybe that's the problem.
Well, no, you need to have a goal. You can't just write it and not have a goal. Like, we're writing it for your daughter? Yeah. Well, then there's your goal right there. Yeah.
Might be the biggest fear, like forgetting. I know they have those like books that are free. The prompts, yeah. Maybe start with
That's a good idea.
Well, the coaching, like I've heard a lot.
I'll give you her name. She's super great, and I'm one of those people you have to get like mean to.
I do need a like when it comes to like starting.
Yes. They're like, why did you not write this chapter? And I was like, I feel really attacked right now. But you're right. I'll go do that right now. I'm clearing my schedule. Understood. Yes, ma'am, Miss Karen. Oh, wait. How did I do? Did I do okay?
Oh, my God.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You see some of the wonderful pictures now, updated pictures. She did amazing.
You were beautiful, so it was easy.
She's fast, thoughtful, patient. all of that. I
Thank
would
you.
love to do business with you again.
Appreciate that.
Definitely.
Thank
First time
you.
I had a photo shoot that I really enjoyed, and I got to have a background.
Yes.
And I didn't have always just dark background.
Yeah.
That's usually the choice. It's like,
No, we like pink.
but my question
Yeah.
is for marketing. Right now, AI is everywhere and stuff. Right now, for those who are small business owners like me, what is the number one thing we can do now to help increase our visibility on social media in this marketing space? What can we do to market our business to increase visibility and get engagement?
I mean, my best advice is to hire the marketing broker. No, I'm kidding, but not. So what I do is I preach all the time on consistency. We've got to show up. It doesn't matter how many likes you get. Go to my TikTok. I literally have like 12 on one views, and then I've got like 800 on another. Maddie and I are doing like some testing stuff on the business one, and it's interesting what people are interested in and what the algorithm actually picks up on our business stuff. So it's just posting consistently. Yes. Also, SEO is a really big thing. So if you can hire someone to help you with search engine optimization, then you can definitely exceed in that. So if you're comfortable doing your own social media, and then we just go on the back end and we make sure everything on Google's good, your website's good, all that kind of stuff. But ultimately, to get more engagement, you're doing the videos. Videos is like a huge thing right now. If you do use chat, I don't hate chat, but if you do use Chat GPT or Claude or Gemini to help you with that stuff, make sure you rewrite it to make it fit your voice. Yes, it can help you with prompts. It's great. I mean, we use it every day, okay? But we like to use it so that way we know what keywords are going to be there for our industries, for our clients, and things like that. But really, just the consistency is what I definitely recommend. So no matter how you're feeling, some days I feel like crap and I'm still on TikTok. But you don't have to do TikTok. Don't be like weird about it. You can do Facebook. You can do Instagram. You can do LinkedIn. Whatever you feel most comfortable with. People just want to see your face. They want to know what's up. You know who you are. Yes, start with one. Do y'all know who Adley Kinsman is? She was like the chicken girl. She's funny. Man, nobody knows who she is when I talk about her. Anyways, Google her. She's super great. And she came out really popular during COVID. And she hopped on this whole train of like videos, and her husband do pranks. And she was speaking at an event that I was at last week. And she was just talking about showing up every day, which I already preach, but really she was honing into TikTok. And she was like, those 12 people that saw that video are not the same 200 people that saw your other video. And I was like, okay. And then also she said, every organic post that we make on social media that gets some kind of impression. So make sure you're looking at the impressions, like the views versus the engagement, because not everybody engages. Those organic posts are free salespeople for you. You didn't have to hire someone to post, you can hire someone to post it, but you didn't have to hire someone to go talk to 200 people. You know, it did it for you. So that's just kind of like changing your mindset around social media and how it works for your business.
I'll say for me, I came to Arkansas as Robert Ferguson's wife.
Yeah.
That's my name. He's on her surname. And I transitioned out of the corporate career into this thing called real estate. Not excited, was just, I'm going to do this for my family. So I was traveling 50% of the time. But I didn't want to do all the stuff they told us to do in real estate.
Right.
Cold call. I was like, I'm not doing that. Zero, not doing it. And I wasn't going to buy Zillow leads either. $25,000. No, thank you. So I got on social media, and that's how it happened. That and community service and things like that. And I'm still amazed because when I got into my business, I was like looking at all the top realtors. I'm like, well, I can't say I'm Mark Hansen. I can't say I'm Mark PCA. I can't say, But it was like, what can I say? Who am I? What can I give? And so I just encourage you, friends, find those things about you. Find your uniqueness. You are your best competitive advantage, and just own it. And I'm a big believer of visibility trumps ability.
Mm-hmm. And I don't even know who Robert Ferguson is, but I know who Karen is. Hey, girl. I on. Yeah, Robert is Karen's husband. Yes, yes. Okay.
And ladies at Walmart will now say, "Oh, wait, are you that realtor's husband?" He's like, "Yeah."
Oh, he's like, and the script has been flipped. Yes, ma'am. And you're straight killing it. For sure. For sure. Okay. Any other questions, comments?
What's your favorite personal favorite platform?
I'm so old. Facebook.
Okay.
I'm a millennial though. Like, that's my thing. I love Facebook so much, and it's really weird. So Maddie loves Instagram, and she's not even on TikTok, which is interesting. I feel like, Alexis, you like TikTok more, right? No. Instagram. Okay. Didn't know that about you. Now I do. Okay. So, but I'm on Facebook more than I am anything else. And I think it's just because a lot of like my friends from school, you know, like if I meet you out in person, they made this joke last week. They're like, all these millennials are adding each other on Facebook. And I was like, that's me. That's me. You're right. That's me. All the Gen Zers are like, AI, put your stuff in chat. I don't know, whatever they say. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, okay, I have like an actual business card. I promise I'm cool. Yes.
Do you feel this? I feel like, and I'm an elder millennial.
Yeah.
Millennial.
There you go.
Do you feel Facebook? I use it more for local connection.
Yes. Yes.
I think that, otherwise I wouldn't, because a lot of my clients don't even want to be on social media.
Right.
Which has this weird dynamic of, I don't want to step out because then my clients don't want to be on it, and I'm telling them that's great for your brain, don't be on it, and then I'm going to like put stuff on social media. So,
It's okay. You have to show up for yourself. So most of my clients are not on social media either, right? But like people that want to follow me or know me or learn from me, like they're on social media, and then I get referred, that way too. And honestly, like I probably should be your client, and you would tell me don't be on social media. Like that's exactly
so some guidelines, and then your brain will be like,
right.
Those guidelines, we're not doing that.
Right.
And then I would say you gotta cut it off.
It's the organization for me. Yeah, it's not great. Yeah, for sure. But I'm definitely going to speak to you after, because I was like, I feel like I need you in my life, for sure. Anything else? No. All right, well, thank you so much. And I have my books, so I will sign them if you want to take one and maybe post a selfie, or that would be kind of cool too. Would love that. Obviously, branding, social media, all the things. So thank you so much.